Yeah, we weren't getting guys open and just put it all together, you know. Times that guys were open, I missed some throws I usually make.
Aaron Rodgers looked nothing like a four-time MVP. His passes sailed, his pocket collapsed, and his confidence vanished. What happened in Los Angeles wasn't just a bad game. It might have been the end of an era.
A lot of stuff wasn't working. You know, we were bad on third down. I was just a little bit off. You know, I missed DK early. Could have been a big play, a little high to Jono. But yeah, we didn't run the ball super effectively in the first half. I missed, obviously, some throws for sure.
The Pittsburgh Steelers lost 25-10 to the Los Angeles Chargers on Sunday Night Football in Week 10 of the 2025 NFL season. Aaron Rodgers finished 16 of 31, passing for 161 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and a safety. He was sacked 3 times. His passer rating marked the lowest of his first season with Pittsburgh. The yardage total represented his second lowest output of the year, after throwing for 139 yards against New England on September 21st. The Steelers' offense totaled just 221 yards, with 65 coming on the final drive when the game was already decided. Pittsburgh scored only 3 points before the fourth quarter, managing a 59-yard field goal from Chris Boswell in the first quarter. The offense failed to score a touchdown until Roman Wilson caught a 27-yard pass from Rodgers with 2 minutes, 57 seconds remaining. The Chargers' defense dominated throughout, keeping Rodgers uncomfortable in the pocket and forcing multiple errant throws. Rodgers took a safety on the Steelers' third drive of the game when he fumbled, fell on the ball in the end zone, and was tackled by Khalil Mack. The play gave Los Angeles a 2-0 lead and set the tone for Pittsburgh's offensive struggles. Film review showed tight end Pat Freiermuth open on a shallow dig route, but Rodgers did not see him before being pressured into the end zone. The first touchdown of the game came after Rodgers threw an interception to Chargers rookie safety R.J. Mickens in the second quarter. The turnover marked his 6th interception of the season. Los Angeles quarterback Justin Herbert then connected with Ladd McConkey for a 15-yard touchdown pass, extending the Chargers' lead to 12-3 late in the second quarter. Rodgers threw a second interception in the third quarter when a pass intended for Calvin Austin went off the receiver's hands and into the waiting arms of former Steelers cornerback Dante Jackson. The Steelers converted just 2 of 11 third down attempts against the Chargers. Pittsburgh entered the week ranking 26th in third down offense and dropped to 31st over the last 3 games. The inability to sustain drives prevented the offense from establishing any rhythm throughout the contest. Rodgers airmailed several passes and overshot open receivers on multiple occasions, including DK Metcalf, who got behind the defense but could not connect with an overthrown ball. Rodgers finished the game with an EPA, expected points added per play, of negative 0.50, according to RBSDM stats. The negative efficiency rating reflected how his performance actively hurt the team's scoring chances. He missed tight end Jonnu Smith on the second drive, overshooting him on a throw that would have moved the chains and set up the Steelers deep in the red zone. The incompletion forced Pittsburgh to settle for a field goal attempt. The quarterback exhibited happy feet in the pocket throughout the night, drifting backward into pressure on multiple sacks. Of the 3 sacks Rodgers took, film analysis suggested he either stepped up or drifted back into the rush on all of them. His pocket presence, typically a strength throughout his career, deteriorated as the Chargers' defense applied consistent pressure. Rodgers appeared uncomfortable and nervous according to multiple observers, a departure from his normally composed demeanor. McCoy had previously called for Rodgers to retire in February 2025 after the New York Jets released him. "Aaron Rodgers, it's time to tie the cleats up and throw them up high," McCoy said on FS1's The Facility. The running back argued that Rodgers was too great to endure further decline and should walk away rather than damage his legacy with poor performances. Rodgers announced in June 2025 on the Pat McAfee Show that he was pretty sure the 2025 season would be his final year in the NFL. "That's why we just did a 1-year deal," Rodgers stated. "This was really about finishing with a lot of love and fun and peace for the career that I've had. I mean, I've played freaking 20 years, you know? It's been a long run, and I've enjoyed it. The quarterback signed a one-year contract with Pittsburgh worth $13.6 million after spending 2 seasons with the Jets. The loss dropped Pittsburgh's record to 5-4 and marked the team's 3rd defeat in 4 games. The Steelers had opened the season 4-1 before losing to Cincinnati and Green Bay in consecutive weeks. The victory over Indianapolis in Week 9 appeared to right the ship, but the offensive collapse against Los Angeles raised questions about the team's viability as a playoff contender. Pittsburgh still leads the AFC North, but holds only a narrow margin over Baltimore. Rodgers spent 18 seasons with the Green Bay Packers from 2005 to 2022, winning 4 MVP awards and 1 Super Bowl championship. He was traded to the Jets in 2023, tearing his Achilles tendon in the season opener. Rodgers returned in 2024 to throw for 3,897 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions as New York finished 5-12. The Jets released him in February 2025, ending his tumultuous tenure with the franchise after 2 seasons. The quarterback holds a career passer rating of 103.6, the highest in NFL history among players with at least 1,500 attempts. He has thrown 503 touchdown passes against 110 interceptions across 21 seasons. Rodgers completed 68.3% of his passes entering Week 10, with 1,489 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions through 9 games with Pittsburgh. The performance against Los Angeles represented a stark departure from his season averages. Justin Herbert completed 20 of 33 passes for 220 yards and 1 touchdown for the Chargers. Los Angeles sacked Herbert 5 times, with outside linebacker Alex Highsmith recording 2 sacks. Inside linebacker Patrick Queen led Pittsburgh with 10 tackles. However, the Steelers' defense failed to force any turnovers after creating 6 the previous week against Indianapolis. The defensive effort could not overcome the offensive collapse. Running back Kimani Vidal rushed 25 times for 95 yards and scored a 2-yard touchdown for Los Angeles. Cameron Dicker kicked field goals of 32, 59, and 42 yards for the Chargers. The 59-yard field goal tied his team record for longest in franchise history. Dicker's 55-yard attempt in the 3rd quarter hit the left upright, leaving him 50 out of 53 on field goals at SoFi Stadium. Cornerback Darius Slay was evaluated for a concussion in the 2nd quarter and did not return for Pittsburgh. The injury further depleted a Steelers secondary that has struggled with consistency throughout the season. Cornerback Joey Porter Jr. also exited due to injury, forcing Pittsburgh to rely on backup defensive backs for significant portions of the game. Rodgers considered retirement during the 2025 offseason before ultimately deciding to sign with Pittsburgh. He stated in April that retirement could still be a possibility while weighing his options as a free agent.
He's just a practice squatter right now, and so we'll get him in the fold and get him working and check his overall level of conditioning, how he learns, and some of those things. It is not the Duggar discussion. He's just a practice squad guy.
Something big just happened in Pittsburgh. Hours after the Steelers' hard-fought win over the Colts, the team made a move no one saw coming. A familiar face from Aaron Rodgers' past just walked through the doors, and it could change everything about how this offense looks next. The Pittsburgh Steelers signed wide receiver Marquez Valdes-Scantling to their practice squad on November 5, 2025. The signing reunited Valdes-Scantling with quarterback Aaron Rodgers, his former teammate from the Green Bay Packers. Valdes-Scantling worked out with the Steelers the previous week, but reports indicated he initially held off on signing while waiting for an opportunity to join a team's 53-man active roster rather than accepting a practice squad position. Valdes-Scantling played alongside Rodgers from 2018 to 2021, when both were with the Green Bay Packers. Over 59 games with Rodgers in Green Bay, Valdes-Scantling hauled in 123 passes for 2,153 yards and 13 touchdowns. The receiver started 39 games during his 4-year tenure with the Packers. The connection between the two players proved productive, particularly on deep passes where Valdes-Scantling's speed created separation downfield. The Green Bay Packers selected Valdes-Scantling in the 5th round of the 2018 NFL Draft with the 174th overall pick. He made his NFL debut in the Packers season opener against the Chicago Bears on September 9th, 2018. His first career start came in Week 4 against the Buffalo Bills when he replaced the injured Randall Cobb. Valdes-Scantling recorded his breakout performance in Week 5 against the Detroit Lions with 7 receptions for 68 yards and a touchdown. The 2020 season represented Valdes-Scantling's most productive year in Green Bay. He registered 33 catches for 690 yards and 6 touchdowns while playing alongside Rodgers. His ability to stretch the field vertically provided the Packers' offense with a deep threat that complemented their possession receivers. Valdes-Scantling averaged 17.5 yards per catch during his Green Bay tenure, ranking 4th in the NFL during that span among qualifying receivers. Valdes-Scantling left Green Bay after the 2021 season and signed a 3-year, $30 million contract with the Kansas City Chiefs. He spent 2 seasons in Kansas City, helping the Chiefs win Super Bowl 57 and Super Bowl 58. In Super Bowl 58 against the San Francisco 49ers, Valdes-Scantling caught 3 receptions for 20 yards and a touchdown in the Chiefs' 25-22 victory. The 16-yard touchdown reception represented Kansas City's only offensive touchdown in the championship game. His most memorable playoff performance came in the AFC Championship game against the Baltimore Ravens on January 28, 2024. Valdes-Scantling caught a 32-yard pass on 3rd down right before the 2-minute warning, allowing the Chiefs to run out the rest of the clock and secure a 17-10 victory. The catch sealed Kansas City's trip to Super Bowl 58. He finished the 2022-23 playoffs with 116 receiving yards and 1 touchdown during the championship game against Cincinnati. The Kansas City Chiefs released Valdes-Scantling on February 28, 2024, to create $12 million in salary cap space. The move allowed Kansas City to pursue other roster needs and address contracts for key defensive players. Valdes-Scantling caught 63 passes for 1,002 yards and 3 touchdowns across 2 regular seasons with the Chiefs, though his production proved inconsistent. He caught just 21 passes for 315 yards and 1 touchdown during the 2023 regular season, career-low numbers for the veteran receiver. Valdes-Scantling signed a 1-year contract with the Buffalo Bills on May 14, 2024. The Bills released him on October 15 following their acquisition of wide receiver Amari Cooper in a trade with the Cleveland Browns. Valdes-Scantling caught 2 passes for 26 yards on 9 targets during his time in Buffalo. He signed with the New Orleans Saints on October 22, 2024. and recorded his most productive stretch of the season. With the New Orleans Saints, Valdes-Scantling caught 17 receptions for 385 yards and 4 touchdowns across 8 games. He averaged 22.6 yards per catch with the Saints, demonstrating that his deep threat ability remained intact. The productive stint in New Orleans showed that Valdes-Scantling could still contribute when given opportunities. The Saints did not retain him beyond the 2024 season. Valdes-Scantling signed with the Seattle Seahawks during the 2025 offseason. He did not survive the 53-man roster cutdown when Seattle finalized its roster for the regular season. The San Francisco 49ers then signed him to their practice squad at the start of the 2025 season. Valdes-Scantling appeared in 5 games for the 49ers, catching 4 passes for 40 yards before San Francisco released him following a calf injury last month. The signing makes Valdes-Scantling the 5th team he has played for since 2023. His journeyman status reflects the challenges he has faced maintaining a consistent roster spot despite his physical tools. The 31-year-old receiver has now played for the Packers, Chiefs, Bills, Saints, Seahawks, 49ers, and Steelers during his 8-year NFL career. Aaron Rodgers addressed Valdes-Scantling's potential signing before it became official. "He is a really special guy, and I think MVS can still really play," Rodgers stated. "You saw last year when he was in New Orleans, he had opportunities. He had a lot of big touchdowns. He can still run." The comments came when Valdes-Scantling appeared to be delaying his decision while seeking an active roster opportunity rather than a practice squad position. Pittsburgh head coach Mike Tomlin downplayed Valdes-Scantling's arrival during his press conference. "He's just a practice squatter right now," Tomlin said via the Steelers' website. We'll get him in the fold and get him working, check his overall level of conditioning, how he learns, and some of those things. It is not the Kyle Duggar discussion. He's just a practice squad guy. The comments contrasted sharply with the enthusiasm surrounding the team's trade for safety Kyle Duggar before the deadline. The Steelers currently hold first place in the AFC North with a 5-3 record through 9 games of the 2025 season. However, the team has struggled to generate consistent production from wide receivers outside of DK Metcalf. Metcalf leads the team with 29 receptions through 8 games. The next 4 top pass catchers are running backs or tight ends, highlighting the lack of depth at the receiver position. Valdes-Scantling has caught 209 passes for 3,606 yards and 20 touchdowns across 111 career games with 60 starts. He currently leads all active NFL players in yards per reception at 17.3 yards per catch. The average demonstrates his role as a vertical threat throughout his career.